This has got to be one of the most overdue videos I have ever done. But no, because it was a couple of months ago I was supposed to have done this, but no, well, I'm doing it now anyway. Better late than never, I suppose. Anyway, hello everybody. DVD and Film Bloke has returned again, and for a while, for about a year later, this is my entire Doctor Who DVD collection. Still not complete, I've got about 50 odd more to get, but last year's collection, which lets out to be a bit salary. Good day to you all, and for my very first video, might as well show my Doctor Who collection. Ugh, bloody hell. Anyway, that collection was tiny. That collection was like that big. Now it's this big. So I decided I might as well not show the box set, and might as well sit down in a company place for you to have a coffee or something, because I'm going to be here for a couple of hours. So have fun, and let's roll the credits. Welcome back. So let's start off the collection now. Lost in Time. If you're into the missing episodes and things, this is definitely the best box set you can get currently for Doctor Who. Bizarrely, they've reissued this in a normal size ammo case, but I prefer this thicker bind more. Anyway, yeah, definitely, yeah, it features the orphaned episodes from a couple of the missing episodes, and plus the surviving clips. A few of them have been made redundant though. You know, they've found most of Overfear, they've found all of Enemy of the World, Moonbase, Underwater Menace had their own DVD releases, Power of the Daleks did its own DVD release. So, yeah, that was Lost in Time. An Unearthly Child. Definitely watch this for the first episode. The first episode is one of the best, in my opinion, it's the best piece of British television to ever exist in the 60s. You know, it's full of mystery and stuff, but the rest of the episodes 2, 3 and 4, definitely pale by comparison, which is a shame. But you know, they're not unwatchable, the last 4 episodes, but they're not great. Okay. The Daleks. This notable thing, the first ever Dalek story, and what a great one to start with. It's just amazing. It's a bit long at 7 episodes, but still, you know, it's got good character development and stuff, and the Daleks have done surprisingly really well. And this story basically, if you've seen this story, then you've seen basically most of the Terry Nation Dalek stories. So yeah, that was the Daleks. The Edge of Destruction. This one is considered by fans to be one of the most underrated stories to ever exist in the show. But do you want to know my honest to God opinion on this piece of crap? It's so underrated. It's actually overrated. I can't stand this one. This one, I understand what it was trying to do. It was trying to build up more character development between the TARDIS crew, because there was a lot more friction in the first episodes. But this was basically just filler between the Daleks and Marco Polo, and it shows. I mean, it's most of the stories just characters bickering each other. It's just like, you messed around with my TARDIS. You want to get back home? And said, no, we didn't. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. Imagine that for 50 minutes. That's the Edge of Destruction in a nutshell. The only part that was slightly interesting was when he was threatened Barbara with a pair of scissors. That was it. Good grief. Anyway, the Aztecs Special Edition. No, what the hell was I going to say? Anyway, it's a decent story. Not one of my personal favourites, though. I suppose it's just me. I don't like some of the pure historical ones, but you know, this one's a really good one to go out on. Daleks' Invasion of Earth. This one does. It's This one's supposed to have a bit of a place in my heart because this was the first ever Heartland one I ever watched, but it's just not very good. I mean, there are a few things I like about it, but particularly episodes 3 and 4, they just don't need to exist. You know, if they weren't there, then there wouldn't be a difference. Space Museum, fairly underrated story, and a lot of people do not like this one, but first time I watched it, I did generally enjoy it. It's not one of my favourites though. You know, it definitely kind of, by the later episodes, it kind of loses its potential. It suffers the curse of the Hartnells, where the first episode is great, the rest of the story, nah. Yeah, but I do like the you know, the ideas brings up when, you know, the Doctor and his companions seeing themselves in the museum. And I mean, that's probably one of the best bits of the story. The chase, silly Dalek episode, but unlike most fans, I prefer this to Dalek's Invasion of Earth. This one is definitely a lot more comical than Dalek's Invasion of Earth. This is probably one of the first sort of like silly Dalek stories. And I mean, this one has a much better departure for Ian and Barbara than Susan. I mean, Susan's is more iconic, but you know, yeah. The Time Meddler, definitely the best Heartland one ever. This is just brilliant. Meddling Monk's such a great character, and love the TARDIS crew. Yeah, this is the first time we ever actually got to see another sort of Time Lord. Of course, by this point they weren't known as Time Lords because the phrase wasn't invented until the end of the Patrick Troughton era. But you know, it's a different person from the Doctor's Crete race, and it's probably the first time we ever got to see a bit more of a goofier Time Lord. You know, like the Doctor, because most of them are like serious politicians and things. The 10th Planet. Yes, the final William Hartnell story. Very good. It's a very good story. Not the best. Not one of my personal favourite 60s Sandman stories. Sandman costumes are making a comeback in later on in Series 10. Or maybe had they already made their comeback? I don't know. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, I prefer them in the 60s when they're in black and white. Yeah, the 60s were generally the era for good Sandmen stories, you know. No, yeah, that's real good. Power of the Daleks. The first ever Patrick Troughton story presented with an animated reconstruction. The story itself, this reconstruction was the first time I ever actually sort of watched it, and the story itself is amazing. 10 out of 10 instantly. Definitely the best of the 60s Dalek stories. The animation though, it looks nice, but definitely very sort of crude, sort of what's the word? It's very sort of glitchy, and you know the floating guard. Yeah. And then we move in, and then actually we've already moved into Patrick Troughton's era. Yeah, but then we get into, I don't ever know what Menace is. I'm not going to get that until either the price has gone down, or by the time I finish the collection. But we've got the Moon Base. One of my personal favourite Patrick Troughton stories. I love this one. Yeah, this is the Simon done properly. Definitely. Yeah, and Patrick Troughton's brilliant as ever. The Tomb of the Cybermen. This is one that also holds a place in my heart for being the first ever black and white one I ever watched, and this one is really, really good. Definitely probably second best, first best, I don't know. Yeah, but Matt Smith says it's good, so it has to be good. And then, yeah, it's just brilliant. Bizarrely, this one wasn't it wasn't particularly liked when they found it in Hong Kong in 1992, but now it's basically gone down accustomed as a classic now, and yeah, I can definitely see why. The Enemy of the World. This one wasn't really liked when it wasn't found, but when it was found, brilliant story. Yeah, love the Patrick Chan sort of dual role with Patrick Chan playing the hero and the villain, and you know, it's very James Bondy, which is good because I like James Bond, and this one definitely is brilliant. Definitely worth a watch. The Web of Fear. What a classic! It's just classic. It's the first time you meet the Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, or actually he's known as Colonel Lethbridge Stewart, and this one is just brilliant. Just no words. It's brilliant, full of atmosphere. Definitely worth a watch. The Mind Robber. Definitely one of the most surreal ones, and I mean that in a good sense. This story, when I first watched it, it's brilliant. It's just brilliant. I love the character development, and definitely how creative it gets with the world of fantasy, despite how low budget it is. And all I've got to say is thank God this episode wasn't a victim of the junking, because this story wouldn't have worked on audio in the slightest, because it's just so visual. The Invasion. Definitely. Well, this isn't the best sort of portrayal of the time men. You know, the earlier portrayals were a lot better, but this one is still really, really great. So great. Kevin Stoney plays an excellent villain in it. Travis Vaughan, just brilliant villain. And the time we actually got to meet Unit. For some reason, some people say Speared from Space was the first one where we got to see Unit, but I'm sorry to them, but they're wrong. This one is. I just noticed I've noticed this for a while, just how morbid this cover is, because basically Patrick Troughton's been dead for years. Nicholas Courtney's been dead for a couple of years now. Kevin Stoney's dead for a couple of years, and I think the guy in that Simon suit's probably dead. So it's a very morbid cover, but you know. The Seeds of Death. Good fun story. Not the best Troughton story, but still it's really good. This definitely, they never seem to get the Ice Warriors right after this. You know, this is definitely the Ice Warriors done at their best. If you want one of the good Ice Warriors stories, go for this or the Ice Warriors. The War Games, the 10-part final Patrick Troughton story epic, and all I can say is it is epic. Some people say the final episode's good unless the story crap, but me, all the episodes are great. This is just, yeah, that the first time I watched this, you know, I was pretty damn close to like binge watching it, but I did actually take a break in between the 2 discs, because the story itself is on 2 discs. But yeah, the War Games, brilliant. Definitely 10 out of 10. Definitely best Troughton story ever written. Just amazing. Now we move into the excellent John Pertwee era, and I've nearly completed John Pertwee actually. I just need a few more, and then I think the ones I need to get are Colony in Space, The Curse of Peladon, The Mutants, The Time Monster, and The Monster of Peladon. Then I'll have all the John Pertwee stories. But less of me rambling, let's get started with the excellent Spearhead from Space. Definitely, yeah, what a great way to introduce a new Doctor. This is just amazing. Yeah, it's not as good as, and okay, it's probably like second best from season 7, but still excellent. Doctor Who and the Silurians. Fairly sort of overlooked one, but this one I think is just brilliant. To be honest with you, I definitely kind of love the ideas it brings up, and it also teaches us the moral lesson. It's okay to be racist as long as you were here first. Anyway, yeah, Doctor and the Silurians. Watch it, enjoy it. The Ambassadors of Death, another underrated one. Yeah, this is definitely quality TV here. It's probably it's probably my least favourite from season 7, but that's not saying much because it's still brilliant. It's still brilliant, even though the climax is definitely very underwhelming. You know, if you've watched it, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you know. Inferno. Man, oh man, what an excellent story. Definitely the best of the John Pertwee era. It is just brilliant seeing these alternate dimensional versions of Brigadier and Liz. You know, it's just amazing. You know, it's just fucking brilliant, and definitely the best example of a. What do you say that's based on? Siege? No, it's more Doomsday. And then we move into season 8 with Terror of the Autons. This is notable for being the first one to feature the Master in it. Roger Delgado will always be, in my opinion, the best Master to have ever walked the earth, and I enjoy this one. The Autons are a bit underused in it because this is more the Master story, but I enjoyed it. The Mind of Evil, definitely the best of the season. This is just amazing. Yeah, definitely the Master done right here, and I like the interesting storyline. So, Mind of Evil. The Claws of Axos, a fairly underrated one, but I really do enjoy it. Surprisingly, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would enjoy it, but this is still really good. And I do like the race of the Claws of Autons? No, sorry, Claws of Axos. Sorry. Yeah, I love the Axolons in it. Yeah, and that's probably the only time where you actually see the Doctor and the Master kind of working together in order to beat this alien race. But, yeah. The Demons. When I first watched this one, I haven't had any sense to go back to it. It is... I like the demon sort of in it, you know him right there. And this is the first time we ever get to see the Master using black magic, and it's a bit slow. I'll say it's a bit slow. It's just I couldn't get into it personally. You know, it's just I don't know why. It's just something that just never clicks with me. You know. Day of the Daleks, the elongated return of the Daleks, and it's all right, I guess. You know, it's not great. However, you know, it's definitely not the best of the Pertwee era. But definitely the things I like about it are the subtleties in it. You know, probably my favourite scenes are probably just the ones where the Doctor's in the mansion and commenting on the wine. But anyway, yeah. Day of the Daleks. The Sea Devils. Definitely the best of season 9. Season 9 was kind of John Pertwee's probably slightly dud season, I suppose. But this is definitely the best of that season. And definitely one of the best Master stories. The Three Doctors, the 10th. Now we're getting to... Now we're on season 10 now. Which it's kind of paralleling at the moment because series 10 is currently on TV, but this is the original season 10, which I've got all of them. The Three Doctors, great. This is definitely a great story. Definitely my favourite of the multi-Doctor stories. Yeah, you know, I particularly love the the conflicts between the second Doctor and the third Doctor. I mean, they're just entertaining as hell. together. William Hartnell unfortunately was critically ill at the time, so he had a very short role in it. It's quite sad to think this was sort of the last ever thing William Hartnell did before he died. Anyway, Carnival of Monsters, very underrated one actually. This one is. I really enjoy this one. They're definitely sort of very creative with its ideas and things, and it's definitely one of, in my opinion, one of Robert Holmes' best scripts. Not okay, I take it back. It's not my personal favourite. It's Robert Holmes script, but this one's still really good watch. Colony in, sorry, fuck's sake, I keep pronouncing the names wrong. Damn it! It's been a while since I've last looked at this correction, as you can tell. Anyway, Frontier in Space. Definitely, in my opinion, kind of the dud of the season. I mean, it definitely, when it gets going, it definitely gets going. It is very entertaining, but it's a bit slow, though, you know. And it's quite sad to think this was the last appearance of Roger Delgado before he was tragically killed in a car accident in Turkey. So, yeah, but it's still a good story. Still a great way to finish him off. The Daleks are introduced a bit too subtly, though, a bit too quickly, though, and since they were salt, yeah, and then this one follows directly into, and this could have been a 12-parter, but they decided to make a 2-separate story. Power of the Daleks. What a great story. My John Pertwee's Dalek stories aren't generally considered the best Dalek stories from, well, Doctor Who in general, but in my ranking from worst to best, it would be Day of the Daleks, Planet of the Daleks, and Death of the Daleks. This one is still a really good story. A lot of people complain that it's a bit too similar to other Terry Nation scripts, which is a downside, I suppose. But it's still enjoyable, and I mean, it's kind of like the complaints with the Force Awakens. People saying it's too similar to A New Hope. Oh, it's too similar to A New Hope, even though it's only got a few similarities to A New Hope. And hey, what would you rather have it be similar to? The Phantom Menace? Yeah, no, it's better if you're gonna repeat a formula. It better be a good formula. But yeah, Planet of the Daleks, I enjoyed that one quite a bit. The camera that way. The Green Death. And this is when we say goodbye to Joe Rand. Anyway, the Green Death, definitely a great story. Definitely, even, I'm not sure if it's the best of the season or the second best of the season. I'm gonna go for the first best. This is really good. I did find the naturist message a bit patronising, which I know a lot of people praise this story for being not as patronising, but it is still a bit patronising. But at least it's not like a retelling of Avatar or Fern Gully, even though this came out years earlier. Then we get now on to John Pertwee's final season, and this is the introduction of Sarah Jane Smith and the Centaurans. The Time Warrior. Definitely a classic. I love this story. Yeah, this is modern series. This is how a Centauran should act. Just like a brute. The Centauran. This is a total brute. It's just brilliant. Invasion of the Dinosaurs. A lot of people bash this story before they've even watched it because crappy dinosaur effects, and that photo right there is actually from the episode. And also, I just noticed that, and is that tail? Is it that the guy shoving his hand at the dinosaur's arse? Anyway, I'm looking to a glass in this pissing cover. Anyway, yeah, lots of people think crap special effects, crap story, but if you ignore the visual effects, which to be honest are complete shite, even for 1970s Doctor Who standards, they are definitely crap. But you know, it's just a great story. You know, definitely the best mystery story of the classic era, and in my opinion, is probably Malcolm Hulke's best script. Planet of, sorry, I can't remember myself. Death to the Daleks. Man, oh man, what a load of fun this is. This story's just incredible fun. Daleks definitely used the comic relief in this one. I mean, as you can see, Dalek exploding and John Pertwee looking like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Anyway, Death to the Daleks. I mean, this is definitely the story where it proves the Daleks aren't the superior race of the universe, because they get taken out by wooden sticks and hoses. That's what takes them out. And it also probably has one of the funniest scenes ever on Doctor Who, when the Dalek has a prisoner and then the prisoner escapes, and then the Dalek goes insane and then it self-destructs. I mean, in real life, well, if Doctor Who was in real life, the Dalek would probably just go, the Dalek should just go looking after it, but instead it just goes mental and explodes. Anyway, continuing on. Planet of the Spiders, the final ever John Pertwee one, and to be honest, not the best way to end off the Doctor. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's enjoyable and such, but it's not perfect though. You know, it's not great. And then we move into the most popular Doctor, Tom Baker, with his debut story, Robot. Yeah, classic among everybody's eyes, and I can definitely see why. This is a classic. This is just brilliant. I love the giant robot in it. I know a lot of people complain that come this one, and I have to admit this is basically a John Pertwee story that just happens to have Tom Baker in it. It's sort of a similar premise to it, and I bet you if you'd copy and pasted the image of John Pertwee's head over Tom Baker, it wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah, but if you're gonna copy a formula, it might as well be a good formula. That's what I say. And then we move into actually, there's not a proper name for this series, but the Nerva sort of quadrilogy, starting off with a brilliant story. Ark in space. Yeah. No matter if it's a bit padded or the special effects are cheap, it's still an excellent story. Yeah, definitely a very interesting story with these people with the last remaining last remaining humans who are in cryogenic sleep, and then there's this creature called the, for fuck's sake, I can't remember what the bloody name is. Ah, oh, for God's sakes. The Ruin. The Ruin. You can definitely tell I found it because I can't remember the flipping names of the villains in it. Anyway. Sorry. Yeah, definitely the villain, Camus, are basically eating the members of the crew. And yeah. Also known as the ball rat monster, which I think I made up, either I made up or somebody else made up. The Santaran experiment. It's alright. Just alright. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not anything you'd write home about. It's just kind of generic. I mean, Santaran's alright in it. He's no Lynx, but but he's not that bad. Then it definitely has kind of a bit of mystery to it. And also, interestingly enough, this is one of the only ones which was actually done entirely on location on video, because Robot was the first one where they filmed the location stuff on video as opposed to film. So, anyway, genesis of the Daleks, considered by many fans to be the all-time greats of Doctor Who. In fact, even some people consider it the best story. And yeah, they're not lying. This is brilliant. Just brilliant. The introduction of Davros. The Daleks, some people complain, are a bit underused, but you know, it's not really their story. I mean, it's called Genesis of the Daleks. You know, it's not really about the Daleks themselves. It's about their creator Davros, and Michael Wisher is probably my personal favourite Davros. That'll tame my life. Yeah, definitely brilliant, brilliant. Revenge of the Cybermen. The long-awaited return of the Cybermen, which, come to think of it, we had no Cybermen until during the John Pertwee era. And it's watchable. That's all I'm going to say. It's watchable. It's not great. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not perfect either. I think it's basically He Who Moans describes it best as just Ark in space, but with Cybermen instead of the Ruin. Anyway, continuing on. Terror of the Zygons. Man oh man, what a brilliant story. It's been a long time since they released this on DVD, but now we have it and it's brilliant. He's one of the sort of dark stories, you know, this race who can disguise themselves as humans. You know, it's just excellent. And it's also the departure of Harry Sullivan, and one of the last like proper unit stories. So yeah, Terror of the Zygons. Sorry about the jump cut, but I was going up to half an hour, so what I have to do is I have to cut off, you know, and then, you know, it's just so it would consistently record anyway. Anyway, Pyramids of Mars, considered by many to be one of the all-time classics of Doctor Who, and it's great. It's good. You know, it's good. It's great. It's a good story. You know, Zootek the Destroyer is easily one of the best sort of villains in Doctor Who, even though he basically makes the Doctor his bitch, even though. He's basically even though he's sat in his chair, he can still make the Doctor a bitch. But it's just something with me that he just never clicks. Personally, I think I need to rewatch it. You know, we just kind of never sort of clicked with me. The Android Invasion, very underrated. Okay, the first half is better than the second half, but the second half is still alright. Yeah, definitely, you know, this sort of like abandoned sort of like village where all the coins do not have scratches on them, and what was I going to say? And basically, like, the trees are made out of plastic. Of course, they're not actually made out of plastic, but you know, it's definitely a really good mystery story. I enjoyed watching that. The Seeds of Doom. To finish off season 13. I still need to get more season 13. I need to get Planet of Evil, Brain of Morbius. I think. Am I right? Planet of Evil, Brain of Morbius. I think if I'm wrong, I'll look on my spreadsheet. But anyway, Seeds of Doom, very good story. Yeah, basically, sort of like this is the only time where they actually managed to make killer plants at least engaging. Yeah. Oh shit. The Deadly Assassin. This literally is the first ever Doctor Who story I ever watched. Not the first one I ever got on DVD, you know, this is one I got afterwards. But it's very overrated. Okay. I like the parts in the Matrix, alright. And I like the framework of it, but it's a bit too slow for me. You know, just something just doesn't click with me, and I'm really annoyed at myself for not liking this. and this is considered an all-time classic, but something just never clicks with me. It just doesn't. If you like it, you like it, but it just doesn't click. Anyway, moving on. The Robots of Death. Some death, brilliant sort of mystery story. I absolutely love this one. Some fans like it. I love it. It's, these servant robots who turn on the humans and start murdering them, and Doctor and Leela come along and are accused of murdering them. Yeah, definitely murder mystery story and easily one of the best of Doctor Who. The Talons of Weng Chiang. Poop, absolute poop. It's just no, I'm just kidding with you. It's brilliant, excellent story. I know a lot of people criticise it for being a bit racist. Okay, a lot racist, but you know the fact that the main villain in it, Lee Sin Chan. Yeah, Lee Sin Chan. I'm going to go for Lee Sin Chan. He's an English actor. He's a British actor, but he puts on a really kind of like crap Chinese. That's it, Chinese. Can get up. I mean, it's not as bad as, like, say, Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's not as cringy as that, but it's still a bit stupid. And I mean, it's not blackface, not politically correct either. Horror of Fang Rock. And previous story, we said goodbye to the excellent Foot Pinchcliffe era. Now we enter to the very mixed Graham Williams era, and this story is definitely the best way to start it off. It's just brilliant, excellent. It's definitely kind of a lot of mystery and a lot more of a very claustrophobic this story. Since it basically almost all of it takes place on a lighthouse, and just brilliant, definitely worth watching. And then, unfortunately, I don't have Key to Time yet. It's on my list of ones I need to get, but I just need to stop spending on money on other things. I need to just I just need to save like 30 odd quid and then buy it, and then I can just relieve myself. But anyway, we jump forward a couple of stories later to Destiny of the Daleks. Definitely the cheapest of the classic Dalek stories. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, when I first watched it, the story, it's not that bad actually. The story, it's kind of interesting, although it definitely it's its budget that ruins it. Because it's essentially, because the Daleks are very battered and stuff, and they actually couldn't get Michael Winston to play Davros. They got what's his face? David Goodison. David Goodison has played Davros, but they used the same mask for Michael Winston, and it just doesn't match. It just doesn't work. And you can obviously kind of blatantly tell that he was basically on a swivel chair, because you can obviously tell he was running. And also, it's kind of sad to think that this was Terry Nation's last script of the entire series, because after this he never wrote any more scripts, and it's very, very sad to end his run on with such a stinker. And also, Terry Nation kind of missed the point of the Daleks, because they blatantly said the Daleks are robots. They're not bloody robots! Oh, damn it. I agitated so quickly. Now you move from a shit story to a really good one. Actually, it's not really good, it's just good. City of Death. Definitely the best of the season, although that's not really saying much, but it's still good. It's not great, however. I wouldn't put this in like top 5 favourite classic stories, but it's still worth a watch. It's just brilliant. Love it. Shada. Shada. The legendary, incomplete Doctor Who story. And I mean, it's a shame that it was never completed, because this one is actually a really, really good story. It would have been a lot better if it was completed, but you know, it's still really good. It's still sort of very interesting story, and there was actually a sort of flash vague animation thing as an extra on here, and with the Eighth Doctor, and that was quite good. In fact, Lana Lord's probably really sick of Shadow by now, because she did that version. She did the what's his face? What's his fucking face? Did the Ian Levine version, yeah, Ian Levine. Yeah, and she did the BBCI version, the Big Finish version. Well, technically it's Big Finish, and then it was adapted into BBCI. Which, I mean, you're probably getting sick of Shadow by now. I mean, it's a cancelled story. Just, you know, let it go. Anyway, moving on with the Master Trilogy and the final couple of Tom Bakers. The Keeper of Traken. I enjoy this one. It's not great. I mean, there are things I like about it, and I do think definitely Beavis Master's a bit underused, but you know, still, definitely really good. Definitely worth a watch. Logopolis, the final ever Tom Baker story, and it's alright actually. You know, a lot of people don't like this one, but I enjoy it. It's alright. It's passable. I mean, the Watch is definitely a very interesting idea. You know, come like the Doctor, sort of like death is coming more close to him than ever, and it's getting dark outside. So, but I won't bother turning the light on. Castor of Alva, the first ever Peter Davison story, and it's so great. Peter Davison wasn't even in the first 2 episodes. Okay, he was, but he wasn't in it very long. But it's all right, you know. I mean, it's not as bad as what people say it is, but you know, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect. The Visitation. It's not unwatchable. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's good. It's good. It's passable. It's passable entertainment. Unfortunately, I don't have Black Orchid yet, so we can't move on to that. But I do have the story that goes on after that, I think. Yeah. Earthshock. The proper sort of Return of the Cybermen. And this was meant to be like the big, shocking twist that the Cybermen have returned, even though they're on the pissing front cover. Damn it, they've ruined it for everyone. Anyway, this is Adric's death. Woohoo! Yeah, no, I know if there's one thing I can agree on with fans is that I fucking hate Adric. Anyway, Earthshock, definitely my personal favourite Peter Davison story. This is just brilliant. Brilliant entertainment. The 5 Doctors. Well, technically it's kind of the 3.5 Doctors, because Patrick Troughton's in it, Imposter, he's in it, and he's barely in it at all. In fact, they used stock returning from Shadow. So it should be called the 3.5 Doctors. Which I suppose technically the first Doctor's in there, kind of, but you know, it's not William Hartnell, because William Hartnell died by that point, and Tom Baker and no interest in returning. But 5 Doctors, definitely a good story, this one. I mean, it definitely kind of has the feel of, you know, comes like kind of like a ratings trap kind of thing. Well, I shouldn't say ratings trap actually, because this is actually quite good. Anyway, the 5 Doctors, definitely good. Warriors of the Deep. This isn't unwatchable by my standards, but definitely very cheap. I mean, god damn it, this is the Silurians and the Sea Devils coming together for the first time, and this is how they treat them. Good grief, I mean, Sea Devils, you know, when there's like moments where there's a moment where one of them rips their pants. So there's the sort of like Merca thing, I think that's what it's called, I can't remember. And it was basically, from what I understand, it was hell to operate because they had to operate because the special effects people had to design it in like five seconds, and the puppeteers had no actual time to practice it, and they said it's like PVA glue. And also, did anybody ever notice the Silurians smile in this? Yeah, the makeup kind of makes them look like they're smiling. And I mean, God, I mean, they've never been that great with Silurian makeup. I mean, the best one is the one from the John Pertwee story, but back from season 7. But even then, that's definitely sort of like a very 70s design. And I mean, I don't like what they've done with the Silurians, you know, where they tried to make them look more human, even though that's not the point of the Silurians. Anyway, Resurrection of the Daleks. The Doctor Who story that has a higher body count than the Terminator. Although this is not as good as the Terminator, obviously. But, you know, still a quite good story. Tony Malone is a really good Davros. Bit slow though, and I mean it's not my personal favourite Dalek story, but you know it's still decent. The Caves of Androzani. This one I definitely need to rewatch because it's everybody says this is the best ever Doctor Who story ever written, and I love it, but there's just something that never clicked with me. You know, I need to rewatch it at some point. And then we move into the much divided Colin Baker era, an era which I actually quite enjoy. I don't have Tundela yet, but we'll move into Attack of the Cybermen. This is definitely a great one. Sort of great Colin Baker story. I mean, it's not perfect though. I mean, look at the cyber leader's head, for crying out loud. What was that Cyber Controller? I can't remember. I think it was Cyber Controller. And what else was I going to say? And the goddamn musical score, and also the fact that this is actually the first time we get to see the TARDIS that's not in its public cold box mode. In fact, it turned into a pile of a pipe organ. But you know, it's still definitely really good. Definitely worth a watch. And I think I'll turn the light on that. It's getting way too dark. Ah, bugger. Sorry, I'm just in a very awkward position at the moment. Vengeance on Varos. Doctor Who tackles Big Brother before Big Brother is even a thing, so that joke doesn't make any sense. Well, actually, it's more Doctor Who versus reality TV. Man, what a good story. This is just brilliant. You know, I love Syl in it. And, you know, it's just excellent. It's definitely got very good sort of like social satire in it. You know, this is the first time the Doctor Who tackle that's anything. It's more ahead of its time with like reality TV shows becoming a lot more ambitious. TMX. Anyway, the Two Doctors. It's the last one to have Patrick Troughton in it, and the last classic Santaran story. And brilliant. I love this story. It's just great. I mean, definitely the issue with it is the violence. You know, most people complain about the violence in Attack of the Cybermen, but at least that one's kind of justified. This one, you know, there's tons of violence in it, you know, and it's just, this is the reason why people back in 1985 didn't like Colin Baker, because of the amount of violence in his era. Revelation of the Daleks. Considered by many to be an all-time great. Not with me though. It's just first time I watched it, it's just something didn't click with me. You know, it's never clicked with me. This story never. I mean, the first half of it is all right. You know, even though it's so good that even the Doctor and Perry aren't even in the first half. They're just walking around basically Snowland. But the DJ kind of ruins it slightly, and it definitely goes sort of or do a bit, you know, the fact that you can get something like incredibly dark with the dark story, and then the blooming DJ, you know, the DJ just ruined it. And now we move into the very, very underrated Sylvester McCoy era. I've only got about 5 of his stories, 5 out of 12, so not too bad. Starting with Remembrance of the Daleks. Everybody who doesn't like Sylvester McCoy makes an exception with this one, and I can definitely see why this is brilliant. It's if Michael Bay directed Doctor Who and he actually did it right, this is what it's going to be like. Just brilliant. Definitely my personal favourite Dalek story along with Genesis. It's just brilliant, excellent. Silver Nemesis. This was supposed to be the 25th anniversary special, even though most fans generally say Remembrance of the Daleks is, because, well, that one deserves it more, because at least it actually felt more like a homage. This one, it's not unwatchable. I mean, it's alright at 3 episodes, but it's not great. It's very confusing, a bit stupid at points. I mean, this is meant to be also the final ever classic Simon story, and this is how they get taken off. I mean, even the name Silver Nemesis doesn't relate to the Cybermen. Anyway, now we get to a much better story in my opinion. A very underrated one. I don't get why people don't care for this one, but I love it. The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. I absolutely love this one. It's just brilliant with its, you know, psychic circus concept, and, you know, the clown and stuff. You know, it's just great. It's just great stuff. Great British television. And is also one of the first ones, you know, where the Doctor kind of became a bit more. When the Seventh Doctor became a bit more sort of like aggressive, kind of. Well, not really aggressive, but, you know, a bit less goofy, a bit more, you know, subtle and things, and, you know, like he's dragging Ace kicking and screaming to this circus. Anyway, The Curse of Fenric, the penultimate of the classic era, and excellent, just brilliant. Probably my all-time favourite, maybe second favourite of the McCoy era. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I like this is actually the only one that classic Doctor Who story to take place in World War II. But, you know, it's just brilliant. And quite bizarrely, the one thing that slightly annoys me about this DVD is it has the original like broadcast version of it, and it has a special edition sort of like omnibus version of it, but there's an extended cut of it out on VHS, on the original VHS release from the early 90s, which actually has a bit more footage in it. So maybe if I go to like, I don't know, if I go to like a fair or something, or another car show, I'll see if I can spot it, and then I'll pretty much buy it purely for that factor. And then we get to the final classic story, and you can tell it's the final one because of the sticker. Survival. The one with cats. The one with the cheetah people. This is the final master story as well. And it's alright. It's kind of a bit sad that, you know, the classic era ended on with this one, because Fenric should have been the final one, because this one, it definitely kind of has a feeling of final to it, but not really that well executed, I suppose. You know, I mean, Doctor's speech at the end is just iconic, but, you know, it's alright, you know. And then we finally get to the rest of the stuff right here. It's not taking as long as I thought it would. The TV movie. Yeah. I actually like this. I know a lot of fans hate it, and yet, to be fair, there are a ton of things you can hate about it. And I mean, Eric Robertson he's alright as the Master. I mean, he's an alright actor, but, you know, he just doesn't play the Master. And definitely the best part is Paul McGann's Doctor. I mean, Paul McGann was just brilliant as the Doctor, and it's a pity you didn't get to see more of him. But I think what helped me the most to enjoy this was the fact that this was one of the first ones I ever got, because I got the 2 HMV exclusive box sets and the 3 visitation sets as my first sort of batch. And this one I put off watching it for so long, and I was watching a ton of classic Who before this one, so I definitely had a bit more understanding. So it made a bit more sense, but I can definitely see why this one definitely shouldn't be your introduction to the classic era. I mean, it's definitely sort of like too Americanized, you know. In fact, I don't think Doctor Who should have been Americanized. You know, it's good. It's kind of a bad thing that it wasn't picked up after the TV movie, but you know, it's kind of good at the same time, because we would have gotten this like weird American crossover thing, even though Doctor Who definitely isn't American. You know, it's properly British. And also, this was the one which introduced the concept of the Doctor being half human. Why? Why the hell is the Doctor half human? Thank God they never mentioned that again, because to be honest, it just doesn't work. You know, and besides, it was just they made him half human just for this line that the Master says. Yeah, she's all human. You're only half. I mean, if he was 100% Gallifreyan, it wouldn't have made a flipping difference. It was essentially the scene where the Master opens up the High Harmony using Grace, you know, who's a complete human, and you know, he says to the Doctor, she's all human, you're only half. I mean, if he was 100% Gallifreyan, it would have made a flipping difference. Why couldn't you just kept him 100%? Oh, man. Anyway, I should stop getting angry. I should stop getting angry over something that's over 20 years old and nobody could give a crap about. And then we get to this spin-off stuff, and this is the last actually official one I've got. More than 30 years in the TARDIS. Despite the fact that I already know basically everything about Classic Who, this one is still a really good documentary. Still a really kind of enjoyable one. Really enjoyable watch. I enjoyed watching that. And then we get to these two, which actually aren't out on DVD yet, and I just made my own copies and printed off my own covers for them. And these are both, you know, like charity specials and things. Dimensions in Time. This was the 30th anniversary special. Okay, I know it was done for children in need, which, you know, I'm all right with. You know, it's been done for a good cause and things, but this was the thing we got for it. Thank God it's only like less than 20 minutes. But, you know, it's just, God. I mean, it's essentially Doctor Who crossing over EastEnders. Why? Why? The only sort of like vaguely entertaining parts are the Noel Edmonds bit where John Pertwee comes in and basically trash talks Noel Edmonds, but that's really only the best thing about it. Oh, God's sakes. I don't even know why the bloody hell I made it. I just wasted my time, and I basically destroyed the rainforest by making this, because I printed off my own disc cover, which actually I didn't make. It was somebody else on the internet made it, but good grief, it's just a piece of trash. I don't know why I bothered. And look, it even comes in an ugly green case. Okay, the only reason why it comes in that is because I couldn't find any other cases. And then we get to a much better charity special, Curse of Fatal Death. This one's enjoyably funny as hell. I mean, this is the only time I actually kind of laugh at fart jokes, you know, because it's literally a race of aliens who can communicate by farting. And it's still kind of entertaining. And it's definitely very funny, you know, to see the Doctor, you know, go through like 3 bodies in under 2 minutes. It's just funny as hell. It's definitely, if you can find this on YouTube, definitely watch it. It's just, or if you're lucky enough to find the original VHS version, this is just brilliant. And also it was written by Stephen Moffat as well. Interesting, you know. Stephen Moffat. This is probably the only kind of like vaguely good script Stephen Moffat's write for Doctor Who. It's a flipping thing that's taking the piss. Anyway, so that's it for my entire Doctor Who DVD collection updated version. I've finally gotten around to doing it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you sat around for the whole hour or so of it. I'm kind of expecting it to do it for at least 2 hours, but it's... Anyway, I'll see you all next time, and cheerio. Also, this is going to take pissing hours to process.